Hello and welcome to episode 341 of the LeagueCast podcast. I'm your host, Nick the King Cooper. Joining me, Aiden Frost Rockards.
Hello, I'm here.
Colton Blue Basket Sweat, the return.
Hey, I'm back.
And I guess you guys. I do that every week, I feel like. I forget to put "and" in front of Colton. Hey, there's no news this week, so we're going to be having a bi-weekly discussion about kind of the differences in... Oh, there's a good word for this. Fuck. Damn it, I can't remember.
Good one.
It's gonna,
Balancing?
like, bug me the entire... balancing, like, philosophy. There we go. Between Dota and League. Because we just learned... Not just learned, but kind of, like, took a look at the Dota stats and want to talk about that. We're going to be talking about Akali. We got a roundtable coming up. LCS, the playoffs are happening, so we're going to be talking about that. We got a cheese pick. And then 2 emails this week. So, but before we get into all of that, Aiden, how was your past week?
I actually played League. I didn't play more than Colton. Colton's a fucking loser. But I definitely played more than you, Nick. I played like 30 games of ranked flex, I think. I swear.
Hey, I think I played like 4.
Yeah, I went from Plat 1 though in ranked flex to I'm in series to D3 right now for flex.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm trying.
A lot of games last night then.
We played how many last night? Like I don't know, like 5, 6.
And did you play some today then also?
Yeah, like between last night and today.
Okay, yeah,
like
I was gonna
6
say,
or so.
I think you were like just D4 last night when I was looking.
I was D4 20.
I saw Aiden's message about being a rager on Discord at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, yeah, because I went from 20 points to in series to losing my series because I always lose series games. I lost my series, by the way. I was 1-1, and then we had a support main who was our jungler. Who I looked at his match history. He lost 3 support games in a row, so he decided to play jungle. Got invaded and then rage quit. So,
I feel like you can't really off roll that well once you get past like D4 maybe.
It's just like I can see his mental capacity, right? Like he loses 3 games of support, goes, fuck this game, I can't carry on support, plays jungle, is like a mental case at this point, right? And then fucking gets invaded and just rage quits immediately. Like level 2 you rage quit. So
Yikes.
yeah, so I lost my series.
Did he play?
He played Pantheon.
Really? And he lost the level 2? What the fuck?
He got invaded by Kindred. So
Pantheon
okay,
should
that's
win that
fair.
She
though.
stole his buff, hit 3 because
Oh,
they both got. I forget how his pathing was awful also, but either way it was not good at all. And then
He's
he
a
rage
support player.
Yeah, so that was kind of a little bit silly, but I actually think I can definitely hit I'm definitely gonna end master. I think it's hard for me not to end master if I keep playing like this because I don't think the games are gonna get that much harder. A couple days ago, or like maybe 20 games ago, I played with Kozin, who's like one of the best Anivias on NA, and he's just grinding out flex. He's like, I want to get challenger rewards for flex, and he was ranked like 9 or something in flex, like on challenger, and he was just in my game. So if he's getting the same games as me, I'm probably going to get the same games like when I'm in master. So, and these games aren't too hard. I'm probably averaging like a 60% win rate. Yeah, I'm currently 63% win rate on flex. So, I don't know, let's keep playing. It's also fun to be able to like just queue with whoever, like queue with Colton sometimes, queue with Trevor, queue with Quinn, not queue with Nick because he's gold 3.
Not queue with me.
But it's actually a lot of fun. And I'm becoming like a Mundo main. Sometimes I bring out the Tom Kench and just I fucking molested Yasuo as Tom Kench, dude. It was crazy. He was like he's a D3 player. Just owned him. I killed him 7 times in lane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good.
I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I went 13-3 that game.
Oh my god.
And that's kind of my week though, really. Actually, other than like I just fucking have been binging JoJo. I'm trying to watch it all before part 5 comes out in October. So
You're making a pretty good run at it.
yeah, I'm into the second season of Stardust Crusaders, so
I think the second half is where it gets like the solutions to the problems that they face become much more interesting.
Not every single fight needs to be 2 parts is all I'm saying. Like
yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's one that just like stands out. I can't remember if you've gotten there or not. I think it's the end of part 1 where they face the sun guy.
yeah.
Holy shit! Why do you need to drag that part out to 2?
I thought it was like, yeah, it didn't need to be 2. I'll give you that. But like, I thought that one was that actually felt like a breath of fresh air though. Like it was like, oh, this is just goofy as fuck.
It wasn't bad. It was just like, all right, they're just like in a rock for fucking 45 minutes.
It's not great, okay, but like I don't know. I see why you guys like this show, I guess. But there's like a lot of fucking like whoever the writer is a fucking genius for coming up with all this shit, though, right? Like the fucking mirror guy. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Oh fuck, dude, it's really cool though. Yeah. So I watched. That this. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that this is like, I think part 2 or. That particular part, Stardust Crusaders, was mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
So, like, vastly different from a lot of the stuff out there. I think the only, like, I don't know, a good comparison is, like, Cowboy Bebop, but even that's just kind of, like, I don't know, just so unique in its problem-solving skills.
And so, you finished part 3, cool. You said, right, and you're going through part 4?
Well,
no. He finished the first half of part
4. You guys, always confuse me, because you guys also call, like, part 1... You guys divide that into 2 parts. I notice when you guys talk about it.
Because it's like
it is two different distinct
stories,
things. But that's if you describe it by the seasons, that's part 1.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm on to the second season of Stardust Crusaders.
Gotcha. Okay, because I think there are also some really cool villains in like the second part of that. Like a lot of continued just interesting puzzles they need to solve. Of like, how do we defeat this person and it's not punch them harder, which is again, which is nice.
Also, every single fucking villain, dude, they always go, "Yeah, you're fine," and then they have them in their grasp, and then they're like, "Now I'll let you go," and the villain goes, "Haha, I'm still bad," and tries to kill them again, and then they immediately still like every single time it does.
And then they just beat their ass.
And they beat their ass, yeah. I watched a ton of that, and I hate myself because I'm like a little bit weeby, but I watched all Land of the Lustrous in like, I don't know, a day and a half, and I fucking bought all the manga for it.
Ooh.
But it's such a fucking cool art style is the main thing, right? Like it's like one of my favorite like art styles so far. Like it's the anime is all done in CG, but the actual art style in the manga is super, super cool. So I just like wanted to own like a set of something. So I'm reading through that.
So you bought everything, like even the stuff that you.
There's only 8 volumes so far, and they were like $10 a piece, sort of thing.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's what I mean. Well, I only could get 6 because they're not, the last 2 aren't translated to English yet. But
okay.
Still, it's like $60 or something like that. So it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's my week.
Nice. Colton, how was your week? You have big news.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm back to school for the first time in a while. I don't know. It's just different grind, I guess. It hasn't been super difficult. Just finished my second day of classes today. I went ahead and like jumped on a lot of stuff, so I'm mostly ahead in all of my classes at this point, where I like finished all the stuff like due next Wednesday yesterday, or at least the stuff I could do, that we've covered or that I have the book for. I've been playing a lot of ranked, been streaming a decent amount. Like D4 50 some points right now in solo, D5 0 points in flex. So I'm gonna keep climbing in that. I gotta go up to the master tier with Aiden.
Yeah.
Before he gets too far ahead, and it's like, well, he's master 300 points and I'm D3, so like if we're gonna climb up to where I'm in master, that's gonna put him in challenger. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also played a couple games of threes with Quinn. I played 5 of my 10 placement games. We went 4-1, so hopefully I get placed like high gold and can climb up into just like D5 threes pretty quick. Don't want to spend too much time playing threes. But other than...
Not a fan? Not a fan?
It's okay. If I was playing with like 3 people consistently, I think I'd enjoy it more. But playing with like randoms, it's not great. Mm-hmm. Just like playing regular flex, you just like have such a variety of skill, and sometimes the opponent team is just a full pre-made, and you're like, wow, that was fun. Sometimes they're pre-made and you absolutely smash them, like a game me and Aiden played.
Yeah.
Crushed them. But yeah, other than that, not too much going on. Finishing like my third rewatch of Parks and Rec, so nothing really there. I'm trying to think if anything else happened, but no, not really. Nick, what have you been up to? You're back to school too, right?
Yeah, so my school started yesterday, or Monday. I'm sorry, it's been, holy shit. It's been a rough, like, getting back in the swing of things. I'm really disappointed that I couldn't take any summer classes to kind of stay in that mental state. So this is the first time I've, like, worked full-time and gone to school for full-time, and it's rough. I think yesterday was a 15-hour day, and the day before was a 14-hour day, so I'm a little bit tired. And I have a midterm next week, so pretty not excited. But I like the format of this particular school where you take one class at a time, and you just like breeze through it. So you're only in class for a month, but you only focus on that class for that month. So pretty nice. Why I have the midterm next week. I played a little bit of League. I played a ranked game, got up to 90 points D5. Maybe it's going to happen. I don't know when I have time, but we'll see. Played some Flex, got to Gold 1. Thank you very much, Aiden. I'm not in Gold 3 anymore. I skipped Gold 2. And then I think that was it. I've been playing a little bit of WoW with one of our friends when we have the chance. We've been going through it pretty slowly, but it's pretty fun to kind of run off and find some of the secret stuff that they've thrown in for people that, I don't know, take the time to explore and venture out. But I think that's about it. So there's no news. So let's talk about our bi-weekly topic, which is kind of the comparison of balanced philosophies in League versus in Dota.
Yeah. So I guess starting out is the fact that you look at like League compared to Dota, like even just win rates right now, which I'm looking at. Where is win rate? So highest win rate currently in League over the last 7 days for all the yellows is Garen with 54%, right? And the lowest is Ryze with 43%, right? And then you look at Dota, where the highest win rate is 60% and the lowest win rate is 37%, which is a pretty big difference, right? That's like, what, 6% on the lower end and 6% on the upper end? So 12% differential. That's like pretty big. And also, most of League's characters sit like right in the middle at that 50% compared to Dota's, where there's actually a lot like above that, say 55%, or below that, say 45%. And I think when we see characters in League sit at those higher win rates, we see people complain like a lot, right? When we see the Jannas sitting at 53% for months, people are super upset about it. Whereas the consensus I got from it was in Dota, people don't care that like Spectre I think it's Spectre has a 60% win rate, because it's completely balanced around like the upper levels of play. Even though he runs over people in lower levels of play, it's completely balanced around the upper levels of play where he can be countered properly by those players.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where Dota is far more matchup dependent, and we've talked about this like in the past. It's been a long time. But there are characters who you just can't like first pick, because then they're going to pick the counter and then you just lose the game. Mm-hmm. I think one of the best examples is like Timbersaw, who's a really strong hero, like one of the most fun, super mobile, does like the equivalent of true damage, lowers stats, like has good wave clear. He's pretty much like great. But then there's a hero who just like drains your mana if you move. So it completely removes like one of your abilities. Mm-hmm. He has an ability that like he shoots out a chain, and if it hits a tree, it drags him I don't know, 2 screens away to that location. So like he just can't use that ability if this other character is picked in like against him. So I think win rate has like it's important in Dota, but it's far less important than like actual character numbers versus like League, where win rate seems to be the defining patch, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dictator.
I think it definitely is, but I also think that like the approach of curving the balance towards solo queue, like it's understandable from right the business end of it, where well you want to make as many players as happy as possible, and that's why you have to make balance patches that make bronze players happy, because that's a large portion of your player base, right? If you only balanced around the pro scene, then you'd have a lot of people who play the game that are not very happy with the way that it's balanced, and then you make less money. So like it's very understandable why Riot Games goes for that approach, where they want it to be balanced for both, but they I think care a lot more about the solo queue normal game aspect of it. I think it's just also really funny, like when you look at certain professional like players and teams win rates that are always insane. And it's just like, well, yeah, this person's like 16-1 on this character, not because they're overpowered, but because they're really good. And then you take a look at like that character's actual win rate within the game historically, and it's, you know, within that like 48 to 52%, which I would, you know, put as very well balanced. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do both. I think if you're trying to develop the competitive integrity of your game, you should balance towards the highest end. If you want to keep your player base happy and continue to make big money, you should balance around solo queue, ideally, you know, for both.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think one of the biggest, like, kind of flaws with... I'm biased towards Dota's balance philosophy, I think. I think it's like a more interesting way to have. I think it's a more interesting state for the game to exist in, and I think that's a confining like limitation of we kind of want everything to be between what 46 and 54% win rate is. Hey, then like we can't have certain characters do certain things. Like I feel like that's a limitation to character design. Like, we can't have certain characters exist because at the very core, regardless of numbers, their kit is, like, always pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. I would agree that does limit you a little bit. I think it's also a symptom of how League balances their game, which, right, it's a much faster cycle than Dota. You know, what we get, like, a patch every 2 to 3 weeks. Really, like, every 2 weeks, I think. Whereas as far as I'm aware, Dota is normally like every 2 months, if not less.
Dota has like very minor patches occasionally, but usually if they're huge, like game-changing patches, it's no more than like once every 6 months.
Okay, yeah. So like,
or it's no less than like once every 6 months. It's once every 6 months, once every year, something around there.
So pretty infrequent changes to the overall balance of the game, which, you know, allows these characters that are very strong. You know, it gives you a lot more time to figure out how to play against them, to figure out what matchup will beat them, to develop as a team in the professional sense of, well, you know, this character is just the best mid laner, hands down, but we've, you know, been practicing this strategy to beat it for 3 months, and we're confident that if it gets through bans, we can deal with it. You know, in League, it's like, oh, well, 2 weeks ago, this character wasn't even on the radar for pick, and now it's like a top 2 in the role. You know, you have to adapt a lot faster, and adapting that quickly to something that's incredibly strong is much harder, right? If the character is equally as strong, but you have less time to react to it, it's just going to roll over everything. I think that happens a lot in solo queue, and then people get mad. And again, they're going to complain, and Riot's going to try and make them happy so that they can keep having them play the game.
Yeah, I guess like it's very fun for me to watch tournaments like the International, which is currently airing, by the way, and you should definitely check it out. I think the International is probably the most entertaining esports event of the year, just from like a perspective or a watcher perspective. But it's like there's so many unique, like different things that the pro scene. So we're looking at this win rate where every Dota hero is sorted by win rate, and closer towards the bottom at almost 41% is Tiny, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth from the bottom. It's not great, but he's had one of the highest like presences at the international like itself. It's nearly, pick ban every single game. So it's super interesting to see like the competitive diversity actually being diverse versus like, oh, the champions that are popular now are barely are like different but fill the same purpose as the ones who were popular like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish League would take more of a step back and kind of let the meta settle itself out, but at this point I think they're pretty committed to a hands-on approach.
I think the only like devil's advocate point that I would make is that, let's just say League, we try to 100% balance around pro play, and I do think they try to for the most part, right? Akin to like Dota, right? Or the highest echelon of play, right? Where everything is balanced currently in Dota at this high level of play, even though it's not balanced for other queues. Let's just say we do that for League. I feel like League's still missing fundamentals, like a voice chat, for example. Look at the characters that are OP in competitive play that are like terrible in like solo queue.
Super like
Rakons, Tom Kench, Rise, whatever. Those characters,
a lot of coordination. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like not having voice chat or like stuff like that, and like where Dota has it, immediately creates a disconnect of like how you can truly have that proper balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But League
and
voice
I feel like
exists,
that's problematic.
Aiden.
It's just
but only with party members.
like, and I feel like maybe Riot is right about the whole toxicity thing, but I feel like, I mean, we're seeing that on like a ton of EU players. You see that post today where like all of like EU Challenger, and I know Tyler won, and a bunch of people were like, everyone's just trying to do.
They just have a Discord.
Yeah, they have a Discord. They always just like if you're on a team with people, you just go to the Discord and you find them and you talk in voice.
Yeah.
Which is smart. I mean, I feel like if they constantly do that, then hopefully we eventually can get like an opt-in voice chat. I don't think you should be required to play it, but like, I feel like it makes balancing the game harder for those characters.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree, and I think there is like a lot more that goes into like we're not even talking about itemization, which like completely, I don't know, makes certain characters viable. I like imagine if a Blink Dagger were added to League, that would instantly make, I don't know, characters like Annie just instantly more viable, right? But I feel like at this point it's kind of inexcusable for League to not have a voice chat, at least for ranked.
Yeah,
like opt in, like give your players, I don't know, the choice, right?
Yeah, and I think that in terms of the context of the discussion, right, we're talking about character win rates and how they are different on the pro stage versus the solo queue stage. And I think, like Aiden was saying, the ability to voice chat severely impacts success of certain characters, right? It's the reason that Shen is a must-pick, must-ban support in the LCS or the LCK, but you don't really see him a whole lot in solo queue because the communication and the planning factors make him that must-pick, must-ban. I think Kindred's another great example where if you have voice chat and people who are on the same page actively working, like where your top and mid lane will collapse to help you get like a Raptor mark, right? That severely changes how strong that Kindred pick is, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm in solo queue, I'm going to try and get those Raptors. Oh, look, their jungler and mid laner came, I died because my teammates didn't want to leave lane for 2 seconds, right? That changes that Kindred pick from like a 47 to a 53% win rate, maybe. That's just a off the top of my head example, but I think that communication element in very, specific champions just completely changes how good they are and why they're good in some cases.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, I just feel like there's like something missing, I guess. I feel like Nick's right in the fact that like, even like to compare it right now, like we're still comparing a game like Nick mentioned before that gets patched every 6 months versus gets patched big every 2 weeks, right? Maybe we would have something more like Dota where those win rates maybe rise, but they're more balanced at like higher levels of play where people actually understand how to counter them if we didn't get the game patched as much. Maybe it's just a completely different game and it will never be like that. But still, I feel like there's things that Riot should take from Dota to maybe make it more parallel.
I would just love to see more interesting like itemization. I think that's something like quietly that Dota does way better than any other MOBA. There's just an item for every situation. Like, hey, there's too much physical damage, you can buy something to disarm enemies for a short time. Hey, there's too much magic damage preventing you from, like, auto-attacking. Hey, there's something that makes you magic immune. Like, I don't know. There's so many options, I think. And I feel like it's almost as if Riot is scared to have all those options because then they have to balance them more frequently. Like, imagine having, I don't know, itemization meta problems as well as, like, champion meta problems, like, at the same time. Having to balance that every 2 weeks, that would be a nightmare.
I think we already do have that, though. And I feel like that's something they're trying to even move away from. Like, I feel like they've made that mistake where, like, look at Duskblade, for example. That's a fucking balancing nightmare. It's literally, like, the AD equivalent of Deathfire Grasp, right? Like,
yeah,
like, and they've done like stuff in the past to like try to fix these, like removing like mana regen, removing mana pot, stuff like that to make it so you can balance mana. But now they added like a item like Duskblade or even Stormrazor now, which gives like, I guess, artificial damage. Which, how do you balance assassins that have to build a damage item, right? Like,
yeah. I bet a lot of this itemization problem stems from, like, very few items in Dota actually affect your ability damage.
Mm-hmm.
And those items are generally not things that, like, are your first or second item. Like, they're kind of, like, mid to late game. There are a few exceptions, like things that increase your cast range and amplify your spells, but for the most part, your spells are going to do the same damage regardless of the items you buy. Like, what actually changes is, like, your armor, your health regen, your mana regen, like your attack damage, like stuff like that. But your skills don't really, like, change anything. So that's, like, one less thing that, you know, Valve has to worry about actually balancing is, like, okay, so now we have Zed who is benefiting, like, too much from the passive of Duskblade as well as the bonus attack damage. So we've got to lower the bonus attack damage, but we want to keep the proc damage the same because Talon is, like, not doing so well, so he needs that damage. And it's like this, I can't, like, the more I think about it, the more I feel like Riot's kind of painted themselves into a corner of, like, nearly impossible, you know, perfect balance. And maybe that's why they balance it every 2 weeks, is to get closer to that kind of utopia.
Yeah, and like once again, you can look at it from a completely different perspective, right? You could look at it from the fact that the only problem is they try to make, like, it's really easy to get attached to characters. That's the only problem with this logic. But you could look at it from the fact that this game is fucking amazing because if you can, like, adapt to every single patch, holy shit, you're a god, right? Like, this patch, oh, they buffed Duskblade, but they nerfed Zed because the Zed used Duskblade too much, but, like, they didn't want him to, like, be overpowered with it. Well, then you can switch to a different Duskblade user, right? If you can, like, adapt, like, every single patch, then, like, if you look at it that way, it's a fantastic game. But I guess the way that we're looking at it is the fact that I don't even know. It's just confusing. I guess it's just a hard thing. I guess that's why it's not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, I don't want to. I don't know. I play way more, like, exponentially more League than I do Dota, and I appreciate playing it more than I do Dota. But there's, like, a part of me that wishes, like, that I played Dota at a higher level because I feel like I would enjoy the game so much more. That there's, like, more decision making and more, like, impactful play, like, I don't know, that sort of thing. I feel like it's more rewarding to be good at Dota than it is to be good at League. But maybe I'm in the minority and wrong. I've certainly been both of those things before. So
You're not a minority.
I still think people are misusing the Herald.
How
what
should
do
they
I
use
know?
it?
Not just dropping it mid to die.
Yeah, I don't think you should drop it mid and then instantly just recall after getting a charge off, but what do I know?
I hate when people drop it to, like, go push somewhere else. It's so fucking bad because it dies in two. Like, okay, when it first came out, that was a fine strategy.
It was fine before, yeah.
Now, like, the hitting an eye does like 70% of his health, like, and it just dies.
So,
Yeah, I mean, not even clearing the wave before you leave.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, we've dropped it, and now Oh no, this is like
farming minions.
I had
for
to
you.
do that the other day. It was running out of time. Like I had like 30 seconds. I died and had like a 27-second timer. So I, like spawned back, put Herald in the top lane from base, and it got like a full tower. Like the second tier top lane tower, it just walked its way up, cleared waves. They just never dealt with it for like probably 2.5 minutes. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
But see, that seems more of like, I guess, less of a good use of the Herald and more of a mistake.
Right? Oh, no, yeah, it wasn't a good usage of the Herald at all. I was just, like, I was shocked that the Herald that I popped in base at the fountain got to the tower and killed it. Like, 100 to 0 with minion wave. Because they just never dealt with it. People do not react to Herald appropriately also, I think. Mm-hmm. It just kills towers so much faster than anything else, except for like late game zigs.
Yeah, that's true. Do we have any closing remarks? I guess
Dota sucks.
Hey, go watch the international. Holy shit!
I guess people should not complain about win rates as much, like because there probably is a counter to most things. I think, but. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think maybe it's not. I don't think it's as hard of a counter or as clear, maybe. But there's certainly champions who are just like, oh, I don't know. Hey, if Sona's got a really high win rate, play something that's good against Sona. Versus like, well, I'm a Nami one trick, so I'm only going to play Nami. And when Sona's OP, I'm just going to cry for nerfs.
Yeah. Is there a lot of one tricking in Dota?
No, I feel like maybe there is in the pub scene, which is kind of just like, I don't know, solo queue. But at the higher levels of play, like you have to be able to play every single hero because you could see any hero being picked in any match because they all fill a different specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we'll go down to the bottom where it's like, hey, we need a roaming support who's good at like enabling one of our hyper carries. Well, this 38% IO pick is the best one we have here, so hope you can play it even though he has a sub 1.5% pick rate and a sub 40% win rate because he's the best fit for our team.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I just feel like people are like there's way too many one tricks. I mean, I'm one of them, but like I feel like that's problematic, I guess, in a way. But
you know, Mundo one trick now. Have you evolved?
No,
yeah,
I've
you need to change your name to Mundo Stench.
I think Mundo's better, but like when I play Tom Kenshin, I fucking like, dude, I can just you can't like just smash lane by yourself as Mundo is the problem. But man, when I play Tom Kenshin, I get 7 kills in lane, dude. It fucking makes me want to cream.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, I know you'll win almost every game, but you won't win lane almost every game.
Yeah.
Tom Kench for sure is one where like, well, you smash lane or you go even, and like 1 in 10 you might lose lane if you goof it up.
Yeah.
But you get, I don't know, it's something else. That character. Remember that game we played against the Ashe and the Tom Kench where they lived like sub 30 healths so many times.
So I don't get that mad at League anymore. I get way less mad than I used to, say, like 3 years ago.
Unless it's flex rank. Right?
Unless it's players on my team.
Yeah, like I just think there's problems with flex rank where there's no one who's like the person that you should be getting mad at. But it's up like for if you get like a silver jungler and their jungler's challenger, which can happen. Because like they're both plat and flex, but they're silver and challenger and solo queue. Your silver jungler is gonna get fucking raped over the coals, right? You can't. It's not like it's your silver jungler's fault, like that they're playing against a challenger player, right? They clicked the same button you did. It's just that now they're outmatched by 2,000 ELO.
But somebody's still got to get.
But you still lost the game 100% because of them, right? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a weird dynamic where it's like it's not their fault, but they 100% lost you the game. So I don't know. It just kind of makes my blood boil a little bit. Yeah, but the game Colt and I played, we had like fucking 6 fights in a row where the Ashe got out with like under 50 HP.
Isn't that? I feel like that's more frustrating than getting smashed.
Like level 1
barely.
Level 1 we hooked her, she like burned flash. Level 2 hooked her, burned heal. level 3, we get they're releasing level 2 Ganksess,
And like, if it had happened 10 times, I think 4 of those times we would have gotten a triple kill. For 0.
Yeah, like
all
3 of
those
them ended.
instances, we
Yeah.
would have gotten a triple kill for 0.
It's
And
just like 5 things in a row. Oh.
it was quite a game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to take. I was playing with Trevor today. I was like, I need to take a break from League. I don't want to. I'm having a lot of fun. It's just like, man, my blood boils in Flex sometimes.
You just gotta use your voice chat to flame, not the text chat.
We have a roundtable question about that later. Don't worry.
Pull a Colton and just talk shit about your teammates constantly. 'Cause they
Yeah.
can't see
That's literally just every game of Dota. Like I think Aiden and I have played 3 games of Dota together, and at least 2 of them, Aiden's called someone a cum drinker. No report, like nothing.
I might get a chat ban on League, by the way, this week. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're toxic.
You gotta stay away from Flex Key long enough to avoid the ban.
Play like less shit. That's
Hey,
my
just- Aiden,
suggestion.
Aiden,
No,
take a
you're
break
gonna
on
lose your
Flex.
ranked
Take a break on
rewards.
Flex until I catch up.
You're gonna lose your ranked rewards,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Ah!
And then your master border is not gonna exist.
Oh, like we have one game where our bot lane plus our jungler, they were the random 3. They went 3-14, right? And so I was like fucking flaming them a little bit because like they lost us the game, and then we queued up again. All 3 of them were on the enemy team, but this time Trevor was laning against their AD carry. I was laning against their jungler, and then their support was support again. Fucking shit on them so fucking hard, dude. Just like, you guys are fucking garbage pieces of shit, though. Like, you can't lose 2 games that hard. Like, this game they even fed more. Like, oh my, dude, it feels so good. Fucking garbage. And then like, I love hitting them, Nick, when they int on your team, and then you fucking like 1,000,000 them the next game, telling them to queue up again. Fucking queue up again, I dare you.
Give me more.
Give me some yellow. Anyways, I want to talk about Akali.
Yeah, let's talk about less toxic things. Just kidding. Akali. Hey, so Akali recently got reworked, so we're gonna be kind of running down. I feel like we haven't talked about her yet, mostly because none of us know how to play her. So
She's very confusing.
Yeah, after I guess the inspiration from Bjergsen's Akali, we're going to be talking about her.
That was pretty dirty.
Her passive is I don't know what he did. That character's OP though. I don't know how or why.
Whenever I see her in my game, I'm like, okay, she did no damage. She did no damage. She did no damage. She did no. What? She one hit me.
I got executed from 80% HP. What are you gonna do? Execute me?
And so here's the
You go to jail.
Like, to preface this, I think she's one of the best characters in the game right now. Do we all agree? Like she's definitely upper like tier, like S tier or A tier, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain why?
But what I was gonna say is she has here's the League versus Dota win rate thing. She has the 44th out of 45th lowest win rate for mids.
Mm-hmm.
And for
I
top,
think
she's
that's more of,
51st out of 54th.
I think that's like, hey, people don't know how to play her yet.
Yeah, but like it's like I wouldn't be surprised if she got buffs because she has the lowest win rate in 2 roles, right?
Yep. That's the frustrating part. Is like,
Yeah.
Hey, her win rate's low, so we're gonna touch her up. Wait, no, stop, please.
Stop. It hurts.
Yeah, her passive. Akali's ability damage against enemy champions creates a ring around them for 5 seconds, granting her move speed while moving towards the edge of the ring. When she walks outside of the ring, she regains bonus move speed towards enemy champions and gains swinging Kama for 4 seconds. Her next basic attack gains range, deals more damage, and restores energy. Also, the animation for it when she's walking with her Kama is so fucking stupid.
I think it's pretty cool.
Oh my god. It's like, it's fine until you zoom in and look at her character while she's just like tiptoeing around on her fucking feet. It's so dumb. Her Q is 5-point strike. Akali throws a flurry of kunais in the target chain or the target direction, dealing magic damage to enemies hit. Enemies hit at max range are also slowed. If you hit at least one unit at 180 energy or above, she is also healed for a percentage of the pre-mitigated damage. At rank 5, it does bonus damage to minions and monsters. Also, I think it's bugged, and it's currently if you hit someone with more than 80 energy versus 180.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's bugged right now. Twilight Shroud. When you activate it, you restore energy and detonates a smoke bomb in the target direction, creating a circular shroud that expands over the next 5 seconds into a ring. The shroud does not permeate terrain. Entering the shroud renders Akali invisible. Invisible, gaining bonus move speed and causing all sources of true sight, including turrets, to become obscured. Akali's basic attacks and abilities will break the invisibility. The duration is extended by half a second whenever she breaks from the shroud, up to a max bonus duration of 3 seconds. The marked section, what is that? I don't know what that is. Of Twilight's Shroud will linger for the mark's duration even after the shroud ends. I don't know what that means, but
Sure.
Her E is Shuriken Flip. Akali flips backward and fires a shuriken forward, dealing physical damage to the first enemy hit and marking them. If the shuriken reaches maximum range without hitting an enemy, or it kills its enemy, it will mark the last portion of Twilight Shroud hit if applicable. Okay, so it marks the ground if you use it in the Twilight Shroud, and it goes max distance. While a target is marked, Akali can reactivate Shuriken Flip in the next 3 seconds to dash towards the marked target, dealing the same initial damage. And her ultimate is Perfect Execution. When you first activate it, she dashes in the target direction, dealing physical damage and stunning enemies for half a second. After 2.5 seconds, you can reactivate it for 7.5 seconds. When you activate it again, you dash in the target direction, dealing magic damage. This base damage is increased by up to 150%, and the scaling damage is increased by up to 200% based on the target's missing health. Oh, that was a lot of text. That means she's a really good champion, right?
Remember was it Camille who gave?
Yeah, it was Camille versus I think it was Kha'Zix E.
Yeah, Kha'Zix shoots a
leaps.
thing from his thing and it does damage.
It's it slows, but also does bonus damage and also heals you for a portion of the damage you dealt.
So dumb, dude.
Whew.
Oh, something. It's not related to Akali, but you said bug, and I wanted to ask you because I'm gonna forget immediately. Zoe. So you know how she drops the people drop spell shards, say you flash, someone flashes, and then it drops a flash. Mm-hmm. If you're holding, say, at Ignite, Nick, do you know that you can replace that with the flash on the ground?
How?
You click
Without
directly
using it?
on it,
Wait, do you have to click directly
No,
on it?
you right click right exactly on it. You have to click you can't run over it. You have to click exactly on it.
I did not.
I didn't know.
That.
I don't know if that's a bug. Trevor did it in a game. He's like, "Oh, look, I just saw him click on something and he replaced it." I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" He's like, "No, yeah, you just click on it and draw it changes them." And I'm like,
"What the fuck?"
I've never.
Why is that not mentioned anywhere?
It's not mentioned anywhere. I've never seen anyone ever do that ever. Never. I don't know if it's a bug.
That's so
I don't know if Bjergsen knows that. I don't know if anyone in the game knows that. If you knew that you could change Zoe's fucking spells that she's holding by clicking on them, let us know. Cause it's not listed anywhere.
Oh my god.
It's not in the ancient texts. I don't understand.
Okay, it's on the League wiki where it says she can replace her current spell thief active by moving directly onto another spell shard.
Okay,
but that's not even having to click on it.
I didn't.
Holy shit!
I didn't know. I was just so amazed today. I was mind blown.
Yeah, I always feel like I get stuck with exhaust and then have to just use it.
Yeah.
So I can pick up a better spell.
Okay, Akali.
Anyway, onto Akali. Let's see, where are we at? Roll. She's played as
top or
a
mid,
crazy assassin. Yeah, usually I think in the mid lane.
I think she can be played both, and I think they're played the exact same way though. I think the only difference is
I do think so. Yeah.
There's a chance you can take TP top, but still, it'd take Flash Ignite for either role.
Mm-hmm. Flash Ignite. Yeah, I'm seeing Flash Ignite picked 96.4% of the time, so easily the vast majority. Summoners, yeah, we just talked about that. Keystone, I think you still take Electrocute even after the nerf. Yeah, you take Electrocute, Resolve, I think, most of the time.
Yep.
And you go Bone Plating Chrysalis.
Yep, Chrysalis is so fucking OP, dude. It's crazy.
Chrysalis is pretty. I like it, though. I don't want it to be nerfed. I think it's like one of the better secondary runes, but it's like it's a good trade-off, you know.
Yeah.
So going down the domination tree, you pick up Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and then either Ultimate Hunter or Ravenous Hunter. I think Ravenous is probably better.
I agree.
But I guess it's up to you. Her ultimate's pretty OP, so getting that off more often is not a bad thing. Skill order. I think it's...
QWE is what I've seen.
QWE.
Yeah.
That's weird. So I guess you're just using the E for...
I think it's cooldown.
The movement attached to it.
Sorry, yeah. And then you, like, the reason you're maxing W is like the cooldown goes from 17 seconds to like 10 or something. It's like a huge difference for being able to outplace people.
It is 17 to 11.
Yeah.
And the movement speed doubles inside of it.
Maybe it's not that big of a deal. It's just more the fact that like having it up every 10 seconds is pretty crazy. 6 with 40%.
Yeah, and I guess, like, I'm not sure what the duration is. Let me see real quick. I have to go back to the wiki because it's not listed on the fucking website. So it lasts for 7 seconds.
It goes in cooldown after, though, so...
Oh, does it?
I believe
okay,
so,
good.
yeah.
Because I was going to say, that's like a 1 second downtime before any cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. It should. Yeah, so max W second, E last. As for your build, I think it's the next thing on the list. I'm seeing Hextech into like Zonias or Morello or Lichbane, and then kind of.
I think Hextechs are core,
that.
yeah. Hextech and then Zonias
Hextech's...
is a core, I think.
Hextech Gunblade.
It just works so well with.
Yeah, sorry.
Because there's.
Did I say?
We've just been saying just Hextech.
It could be the Jalopy.
Yeah, the GLP is core.
No, please get the Gunblade.
The one of like 1.5 viable Hextech items.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Belt's not even very good anymore.
It's alright, though. It's good on, like, Fizz and stuff.
Yeah, it's good on certain characters. Echo, probably.
Yeah, so I think your build should be Magic Pen Boots, Gunblade, Zonias, Morellonomicon. Yikes, where do you go from there? That's 4.
Void Staff. But
the games don't go long enough to ever...
I think you just throwing in a GA, honestly, is one of the better ideas, too.
Lichbane.
Because you can get that GA off into a Shroud, and then, I don't know, execute someone with your crazy-ass HP.
Yeah, I think Lichbane's also, like, a big pickup, like, kind of needed at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of just a Hextech first, and then items. Any of those afterwards.
Yeah, really. She's kind of, like... She's just good with, like, any, like, AP items, I guess. She's, like, I don't know. I was going to compare her to Diana, but without attack speed, I guess, so... That's what she reminds me of.
For sure.
She's not even... She does so much damage.
Strengths. Yeah, strengths. Hey, her damage is insane. Her W is one of the best abilities in the game now. After being, I feel like, one of the worst.
True stealth, by the way.
No, it's beyond true stealth. It's obscurity.
It makes me so mad.
The word choice is so dumb, though. Like, obscured. That sounds so much less than, like, stealth or invisible.
Yeah.
Like, which one is harder to see? Something that's invisible or something that's obscured?
It's like, hey, who's that guy obscured by that bush over there? Why is he creeping on us? Ugh. Yeah. Hey, she's got one of the better late games, I feel like, of currently viable mid laners.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I think it's absolutely insane.
She's not alt reliant is the main thing, right? Like, so makes her.
I feel like she's W reliant.
Yeah, you need to have like your W is kind of like to reset like your E and your Q, kind of like gives you like a timer almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zonia's, except you get to move around the whole time.
Yeah, and people can't see you no matter what.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, it's super fun just, like, torching an Akali while she's in there. If you've got, like,
yeah, for sure. She's still vulnerable during it.
Or, like, on Zillion, tossing the double bombs into the smoke and getting them.
Yeah, she's still vulnerable during it, so that's kind of, like, a good part of it, I suppose. Weaknesses, her early game is pretty shit. I feel like... So I've only played her once during a Nexus split, so I get to kind of skip that early game. But I feel like I could not... Like, I couldn't do anything for the first, like, 5 minutes of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she definitely needs some levels to be efficient, but I don't think that's too much of a hindrance, honestly, for what she does early, but for what she does late. Any other strengths or weaknesses we want to point out?
I don't know. I think she's crazy mobile. With her, E dash, her W lets her reposition her ultimates 2 more dashes. It's mostly the ability to move forward that's really strong, but I mean, she can use the E to pop over walls, like backflip over them. So that's definitely a strength for Akali. I think that's one of the things that's almost probably like my biggest issues with her is just how fucking mobile she is, but that's what the character's supposed to be.
Yeah, I feel like one of the better counters to her in top lane should be Poppy, but I don't know if I've seen that yet. Because she's not unstoppable during her dashes, which means your W can interrupt her ultimate if you time it, properly, and don't interrupt one of her 2 other dashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Any champion-specific things? I haven't played the character enough to point anything out, but Marcus E had a good video about using your E back. So you dash towards the enemy champion, throw the shuriken away from them, instantly get a passive proc, get in there, and then start your combo. It's like less damage, but it's way easier to pull off that combo versus trying to hit your max range E.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But that's the only champion specific thing that I know.
The only one I know is actually playing against her, I guess, which still is relevant. Using your Oracle's lens when she's in her true stealth.
Yeah, so it doesn't reveal her, but it has the red outline of where she is.
Yeah, so let you know which way she's gonna leave it, which is kind of important, I think. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Ooh, can I recommend a streamer here?
Yeah. Let's do our stream recommendation.
I would say there's 2.
Twitch.tv/Blue Basket. That's the only stream that matters.
The obvious one is TF Blade, because he's an Akali and Irelia. I want to say one trick. He does play everything else. He's just overall a really, really good player. But
those are his go-to.
Yeah, he has a 60% win rate on Akali is most played, then a 64% on Irelia is second most played. Why you should watch him? Because he's currently the rank 1, 3, and 5 player, I believe, on NA. So he's pretty good. His main account's 1,400 LP challenger or something. So he's really, really good. So I'd recommend him. But if you don't like huge streams, I know a lot of people don't like watching big streamers. I'd also recommend Rice Legend. He's a Master Tier Akali main. I think he peaked at 600 LP challenger. He has a very, very small stream. I think he only has 3,000 followers, but he's really, really good. He's one of the best Akalis on NA. So Rice Legend, yeah, or TF Blade.
All right, awesome. Best skin.
Ooh,
she has a lot of really good skins,
especially since they just redid them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nurse. I like the kind of the aesthetic of the skin, where it's this terrifying Nurse assassin. Gives me a lot of
erections.
Valentine vibes from Skullgirls.
I think Blood Moon's my favorite, honestly. At least splash-wise. I haven't seen them all in game yet, but splash-wise, I think Blood Moon is my favorite.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I think Infernal's way better than you think, Nick. Infernal's sick.
It just looks so dumb.
I think it looks sick.
It used to be... It wasn't Red Akali, right? Because she already has a red recolor?
No, I think it was the red color, and then they changed it.
No, because she has Crimson as well. Unless they just took out Crimson and renamed it Infernal.
I think they took out Crimson and renamed it Infernal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Voiced by Laura Bailey. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
That's dumb. Akali. Yeah. So let's jump into the round table.
That's my section. Last week's question was, if you could have one ultimate ability in real life, cooldown is 1 second per day, who would it be and why? Colton, what was your answer? What do you want your answer to be?
I feel like it would probably be like one of the globals, so I could just like go somewhere. So like I want to say like Shen or Tom Kench, because like Tom Kench you can bring someone, or Shen you could like just show up at like a friend's house anywhere.
Or Rise, just teleport.
Oh yeah, Rise. You can just
everything
take
in
your
an
boys wherever you want to go.
But then you teleport stuff that you don't want to, like your house.
No, you set up like, and you like go to your backyard, like put all your like luggage and shit in the circle, and then you just fucking teleport everything.
Get the bugs out of the yard.
You take all the bugs. You get arrested for accidentally transporting like fucking fruit and veg or something.
You're transporting these across the border.
No, dude, I'll take Karma ult, and then like once like a month, it's like 30 seconds. I just do one action really, really well.
I like that. That's really good.
Just once a month, I'm like, this thing, I'm gonna do it. This is super well. Like, ooh, cool. I got a fucking top final today. Pop ult.
Fucking mantra that shit, dog.
Like any of the transformation.
Yeah, I was thinking like I'll take Elise, and like once a week I can turn into a spider.
Then you're a spider for a couple days.
Yeah. That's the problem.
I forgot about not being able to turn back.
Yeah. That's the only problem with the transform, is that you're stuck that way for like a week or 3 or 4 days.
Once a week, I'm just the cat, unless I hit a spear.
Somebody said that for Nidalee. It's just like, do I have to stay in Cougar for 5 days? Nah, it's fine. I'll still choose Nidalee.
Cool. So, from Facebook, Josh said, Echo ult for sure. I'd never die, and you can redo certain situations. No one is ever going to walk in on me spanking the monkey ever again. Jamie said, if I choose Nidalee ult, do I have to stay as a cougar for 6 days? Actually, that's a non-issue. I choose Nidalee ultimate. Brian said, Rise ult to warp places with friends, or Quins to fly. Mike said Kyle's ult, and Kale's ult. I picked it because he's put Kyle. Kyle's ult. I'd become a pro fighter, then only fight on days when it is off cooldown.
So I have another question in regard to that. Because like Kale ult is for like 2.5 seconds, but if we're doing like 1 second of cooldown is 1 day of effectiveness, does he just get to be invincible for 2.5 days?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That may change things.
Bonnie said Zoe ult could be useful. Grab something across the room without getting off your chair. Alfredo said Sona ult, you make everyone dance. Gearbox Dragon from our Discord said Shake ult for the people who just don't want to interact with other people. Now the beauty of this is not only is the use of it filling in for you at events you don't want to go to, but you are also too lazy to go to the kitchen to get something or do chores. Bam, Shaco clone. Kua said,
that'd be a pretty good one.
I think Mundo ulti would be kind of neat. You cut yourself to validate the health costs, but then you heal back any injury you sustained until you're in peak physical condition again. Working out would be so easy. And then last but not least, this one is the best of the week. Dr. Lovelace. All right, hear me out. The current Olympic record for men's long jump is about 9 meters or 29 feet. Warwick ult range is 250% base movement speed. So you get at least 40 meters or 130 feet of running room before the jump. Insert me casually just walking up till I hit the 15 meter 50 feet mark. I sprint like I've got a bear on my ass and reach top speed of about 27 miles per hour, which is super low and only like 1 kilometer an hour. Those meters per hour or meters per minute. He did. I take 250% of that in ult, leaping the distance total of 3.9 kilometers and obliterate any competition. Since the Olympics are every 4 years, I have at least one chance per year to improve my jump, with the ult being up every 180 days. Even then, it'd be more of an effort to improve speed, since more speed equals more distance. Just jump 3.9 kilometers.
I feel like I don't know if I agree with this math. I don't. It seems so
Shut
far.
up, dude. It's fine.
What do you mean? So it's 250% base move speed is the length.
Yeah, and
right?
his movement speed is 27 meters per minute, which is 1.5 kilometers per hour, 1 mile per hour.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah.
Jumping.
So He's jumping per hour. Shut up, dude.
So he's jumping.
The only problem is there's a
2
time.
hours?
Shut up. You don't know. I think it's great.
No, he's saying.
No, I understand what
Yeah.
Colt means.
Wait.
It's a great answer. I love it. I think you'd probably get a world record jump. I just don't know if the math works out.
You're jumping 4 kilometers.
But
No, I understand what Colt means because you're not. Yeah, you're taking. Yeah.
Yeah.
This week's roundtable question though is, what is a memorable quote from in-game chat that you still think about to this day? I'm gonna answer, and then I'm gonna burp for a second. So it's actually from today, Nick. That's why I chose this question, and it was because my team. So we were losing really hard early game, and then we were like winning really hard for a little bit, and then we were losing really really hard again. And our bot lane was shit talking the entire time. Like they're like, you fuck it, you're getting camped. They were like 3 and 8 at one point, and they're like, lol, your jungler's camping and you're still losing lane. I'm like, these guys they're like mental cases. They think they're winning lane when they're 3 and 8 and they're down CS or whatever. And they started calling the enemy team pigs and stuff. And then we were like getting smashed for like 20 minutes in a row. And the enemy team starts shit talking, right? Because our team was shit talking for forever. And then we start winning again, Nick. And then we win the game, and our Soraka goes, never, ever use your keyboard to talk to me ever again. No, they said, sorry, I said it. Never, ever use your keyboard against me ever again.
I like the idea of like, anything else is fine. Don't you dare have a keyboard plugged in if you try to talk to me.
It's just,
you want to challenge me with a keyboard? That's the power of the
and coming
keyboard,
from
baby.
Soraka is like the most appropriate character.
it was so good, dude. Just burp 1 second.
Oh boy, it's a shame that he went. Okay, I'll have to answer mine when he gets back because I need his help remembering the exact thing because I guess it's not that memorable,
wow.
but it's the only one that I remember. So go ahead.
God, I'm trying to think because like there's probably like all of the ones I could think of now are just like frequency bias or sorry, like because I heard them recently, recency bias. That's what I was thinking. I guess probably the one that's persisted is someone once typoed when they were trying to call me Mr. Nunu and called me Miser Bunu, and that one stuck. I still use that to this day. Yeah. So I was just like talking in chat a bunch that game, like trying to be like the positive influence, get everyone on my side, and they were like, yeah, Mr. Nunu, come top lane, we'll get the kill, and then he just accidentally typos Miser Bunu, and I just changed my room page to that name and like talk about Miser Bunu every time I play Nunu.
You have identified as Miser Bunu in every single Nunu game since.
Yeah, I have. So that's probably it. There's been some really great like graphic imagery that some people came up with. Like there was one I played with earlier like this week who was a support that was just sprouting off some like really graphic stuff where I was just like, okay, all right. I can't even remember. It was like he was making like a period joke, like a menstruation joke, and it was just really, really creative language to go about it. But I can't even remember what he said, so not a very memorable quote, I guess.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like I remember the story of it, but I don't remember the exact wording.
If you're
so
master in threes, you're master in all.
Okay, I forgot about that one. Holy shit! I wish I had saved downloaded the VOD so I could fucking watch it back every time I wanted to.
It
jerk
exists.
myself
It's
off.
out there still.
I think VODs usually expire 40 days after.
Oh, maybe
they
I
happen.
don't know.
I think that's usually the time limit, so they don't have crazy high bandwidth every month. But I mean, they already do, so who knows? It looks like it may take Aiden more than a couple minutes. So there was a game that Aiden and I were playing. We were playing bot. I think it was like one of the early flex, maybe this season. Yeah, I think early this season we were playing Flex or something on Smurfs, and we had an Akali an Evelyn in our game. And anytime
I was in this
it was
game.
like
I was in this game.
Oh, you were okay. So maybe you'll remember, but I remember the rule set, right? It was like anytime she entered a lane and left without a kill, it wasn't a gank. Anytime she forced summoners, it was not a gank. like, fuck,
It was-
I can't remember
no,
what
it
she
was
said
just-
instead of
It
it.
was just like she came bottom and got like double flash, and you guys were like, nice gank, and she was like, we only got summoners, that wasn't a gank, or like
Yeah.
something along those lines. Like, we didn't get the kill, it wasn't successful. And
Yeah, that wasn't a successful gank, and then it like spiraled from
Yeah.
there. I like, and we weren't being sarcastic. It was like, hey, thanks for the gank. Like, we should be able to like, you know, get a kill next time. Like, if you want to come back. And she's like, that wasn't a gank, but I can't remember what she said instead of it.
but she like remained really upset about it, and then we started memeing about it, where it was just like, that wasn't a successful tower kill, we only got it to 0 HP. Like,
But the quote was like, that wasn't a gank. That was a
that was
blank.
like
And I can't
a
remember what that
pressure,
blank was.
or
Fuck. I don't know, something
It
like
was-
that, yeah. But it was like, it's such a perfect format for the rest of the game, because
Yeah.
then you can use it for anything. Like, that wasn't a Baron, that was a neutral
Yeah.
objective. Like, something like that was so fucking
it was
stupid.
yeah, it was so funny though. Oh my god.
That wasn't a rotation. That was just leg movement. Anyway, so I'll try to see if Aiden remembers it when he gets back. But if you want to send us your roundtable, you can send it on our Discord, on our Facebook, Leakcast Podcast, or on through the mail at leakcastpodcast.com. I hope I did that right. It's weird.
Yeah, our Discord. Did you say Discord?
I said Discord
Oh, okay.
first, which I think Aiden usually says last. So
Anyway, so yeah, that's the round.
cheese. Cheese.
Cheese. We're gonna go with the mid nocturne this week. You can do like the standard lethal tempo. You can go hail of blades. Hell, you can even go like electrocute. If you don't have flash and nocturne gets on you, you just die because he does so much damage. He gets so much movement speed from his Q and his E on you. I think it's a fun way to punish some squishy mages, which are like popular right now. And especially certain characters having a spell shield for is just bonkers. So I had to play against one a zillion, which, hey, guess what? My champion has 2 spells, and if you can block one of them, that makes my character half as effective. So that was really frustrating to play against, and I think, against like the Zoes of the world, like she can never hit a trouble bubble, or if she does, you can block the follow-up. So I think Mid Nocturne has some potential. It's pretty strong pushing, pretty good, dueling over a Scuttle Crab if you need to help your teammate. We're gonna add that in with some ricotta cheese, because I don't know, I haven't used ricotta for a while, and that's as far as that section goes. LCS. Wait, Aiden's back.
Hey,
Aiden's
LCS.
back. See if he remembers
I'm
the
back.
quote.
Oh, Aiden, what was the quote? It's not a gank. That was
Save.
That was a save. Okay, that was. Yeah, that was mine. Obviously, it wasn't memorable enough to remember the quote, but the context, like, we nailed.
Yeah.
And we were saying that was such a good format because then you could do that to anything. That wasn't a rotation. That was just map movement. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
LCS. Hey, NALCS finished this week, so let's talk about the teams that are in playoffs because I don't want to talk about the team out of playoff that I support. So first up in the quarterfinals this weekend, Echo Fox will be facing TSM. The winner will go on to. I guess we can't predict that just yet. And then 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. And then the 2 teams with the bye are Cloud9 and Team Liquid. So Echo Fox TSM takes place Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I think, right?
Yes.
Does it auto adjust my time?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then 100 Thieves FlyQuest is 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So who do we have? Echo Fox or TSM? I think TSM's on the upswing, and Echo Fox is kind of like, eh?
Echo Fox did beat TSM in the tiebreaker, though.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with my heart and say Echo Fox, even though I feel like TSM is probably gonna win.
TSM, 100%. Always.
I'm
TSM
going to go
wins.
TSM. TSM, yeah.
I think ban a Kali and you should be fine. Echo Fox. Who do we have in 100 Thieves FlyQuest? I feel like 100 Thieves is going to take that probably 3-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flag Ice looks pretty rough. I think some days just carrying games too hard right now.
Yeah. He's by far the best top laner, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you have, like, a high-tier Korean top laner and you just bring him to NA.
Yeah, fucking, he's against Lord Flame, though, so...
True, fair enough. I don't know. Someday at the top, like, someday Renekton, oh, give me that every single year, dude. I love that. But yeah, did you have anything else you wanted to mention about LCS? We can talk about EU, I guess, if you want.
I mean, I don't care about like these games. I care about like the semifinal games because I think I think
the
Fnatic
semifinal
and
games are gonna be way
Vitality look good, but I don't really give a shit about Misfits, G2, SO4, and Splice really though.
Yeah,
I think both. I've always liked Vitality because I like Cabochard a lot, and now I obviously like Fnatic because it's hard not to like Fnatic. I think
it's hard to root against Reckless. Yeah,
I like Reckless a lot. But
So,
I really don't care
me
enough
too.
about like the quarterfinal teams right now, I guess.
fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
So then I guess we'll talk about them next week. Which leaves us at Mail Fight. And we have 2 emails. First, is from Skavis. Hey guys, love the show. Started listening a couple years ago during my first serious attempt at climbing. To reiterate the voice of a few recent writers, knowing that you guys were highly ranked really made the difference in my initial viewership. Great content from great players. Hey, thanks, dude. We're the highest rated non-professional, I guess, having league podcast, right?
Yeah, because if you don't
That's so
include
true.
like fucking like Beyond the Rift with like Skara and
Yeah,
PewDiePie,
Beyond the Rift is like...
then yeah, we're the highest. I think we're the highest ELO podcast. For like, I don't think there's
think so.
even really many Diamond podcast hosts still out.
If there's anyone else who wants to challenge our claim at the top, you can write us at MailCast.
Nick, can you
challenge
stop flaming? We're gonna
us
get
to-
another email. We're
Challenge
gonna get
to a
another
match.
Facebook
We'll
message.
smash you. We're smashing.
Hey, it's not. We're not. I'm not addressing that to one particular podcast, and I'm talking to everybody.
It is true though.
I'm taking shots at everybody. Yeah.
Look at everyone.
Come at me, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've been meaning to write you guys about something that I've been thinking about lately. I started playing in Season 5, and my season finishes in order have been something like Silver 3, Gold 3, Plat 3. High odds the combination of my skill cap and macro management falls somewhere between Plat 3 and superseding Faker. My questions are, how might I know when I've peaked in League? And do you guys feel like you have peaked? If so, what signs told you off? And is there a specific rank tier that you think you belong under? Best NA support main, Skavis.
Nick,
So first,
I was gonna say,
shut the fuck up, Aiden.
Nick,
Are you supposed to be? Don't you have better things to do in Mail Fight than flame me?
yeah, I'm supposed to be fucking making myself a drink or something. I like the belong under. Emphasis on under and Nick being D5.
Oh boy. So hey, how do you know if you peaked? If you've been Diamond 5 for the past 5 years. Anyway, how might you know when you peaked? I feel like maybe you never peak skill level. Like, there's no way to know that, right? Because the game's changing all the time. Champions are different. You're getting better. You're getting worse. You may have better teammates as a whole when you're I don't know, maybe something wonky happens, like the meta change for this year, where like if you played AD carry, chances are you probably didn't perform as well as someone who plays mages a bunch of the time. So I feel like it's kind of impossible to answer how you can know when you've peaked until it's already happened. With the exception of like, you just don't give a shit about ranked anymore. Like, for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I've probably peaked because I don't really have a desire to, I don't know. I don't have a desire to chase masters like I feel Aiden and Colton still do.
That's what losers
You know,
say.
I'd like to get out of Diamond 5, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be upset if I'm still Diamond 5 0 LP at the end of the year. Do I think I just belong in a specific... Yeah, I mean, I should be, like, Challenger top 10 easy, dude. I don't understand. My team's the only thing holding me back. It's not my... like.
Where do you think you'd actually be, Nick? Like, if you played enough and tried?
If I played 1,000 games, I'd like to believe that I could be somewhere between Diamond 2 and maybe Low Master. Like, maybe that's wishful thinking, but hey, this is my, fantasy where I get to be good at League of Legends.
Okay, I would say that's a little bit wishful thinking because I was going to put myself like mid D3.
I mean, but like, how many games do you have? You have 70 games so far?
Something like that, yeah.
Like 53, something like that? Like, I don't know, add another 900 games to that and see, like, surely if you maintain even a 52% win rate, you'd climb a shit ton.
I mean, I think the bigger thing is, like, if you play that much, you're actually, like, consistent, you're not rusty. Is, like, the big thing. Like, even playing flex, like, consistently, I feel like I'm actually, like, I can just win lanes, right? Because I'm not just, like, picking up the game every fucking month. So,
Yeah, I've been
maybe you're right.
playing a lot, and that consistency to keep you, not rusty, and in tune with the meta is really important for climbing, I think.
So you guys want to answer? How do you have any additional thoughts to add on how you might tell when you've peaked?
I guess for me, like, if you stop trying to get better, I think that's like a big sign. And then just when you get to a point where, like, I guess for me it happened when, like, I was the highest rank I ever was when I was playing against, like, master or challenger players and just felt so outclassed, where I was just like, oh yeah, I'm definitely not challenger. Like, I played against a challenger AD carry and he just completely bodied me, you know? That's how I was like, I'm not that good. That's how I kind of knew, like, this is probably as high as I'll go. But I don't know, it's really tough to say. And especially, like, you just have to play a lot of games, because, right, even though there is that, you know, challenger that bodied you, there might be two more that won't, because they just play differently, or maybe he was just an exception in that game or something, right?
I was going to say, I think it's when you stop being able to pinpoint what's holding you back. Like, eventually you'll hit, like, your peak on what your mechanics can actually do, unless you grind, like, a lot. Like, I'm sure, like, if you got dropped into, say, a D1 game, you just would go, oh, I literally just can't do what that person did on, say, Irelia mid, right? I don't have the mechanics to do that, which you can grind to do, but eventually you're going to hit your, obviously, cap. But if you can always pinpoint something to improve on, like, man, this game, I did not pay attention to the map, I did not, like, follow up on roams or whatever. Like, as long as there's always stuff to improve on, then you haven't hit your peak, right? So as long as you can constantly pinpoint that, I would agree. And I also think Colton did was really, really on point with it. Like, for me, it was like, yeah, when I was playing against, like, I blamed against Impact once last season, and I lost lane to him, and I didn't feel like it was even close. And I don't know, maybe if I would like to, like, in a perfect world, I'd like to play that matchup 100 times and see how many times I could win that, you know what I mean? And that would give me a good grasp, but, like, man, it didn't feel close. So I would say my peak is definitely below Challenger, which I can obviously see that myself. I would say my peak is, like, I don't know, really low Masters, but I think I would more just hover, like, D3, D2. But I think it's really when you can stop finding ways to improve.
Yeah, and I think even identifying areas for improvement is a skill that a lot of players don't have. Like, you really have to sit down and watch replays to see, like, I don't know, a lot of the harder things to pick up on. It's easy to say, like, oh, I shouldn't have died, you know, for first blood in lane because I got hooked. Like, I should dodge the hook. That's an easy thing. But it's hard to see, like, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, I wasn't, I don't know, my item purchases weren't as efficient as they could be. Like, that's a harder thing to identify. Like, my itemization was shit.
And I think that's one of those things where the brute force method of, like, I'm going to play 1,000 games to get better and not really analyze my performance or try and figure out what went wrong, versus, like, I'm going to play 100 games, but I'm going to watch every VOD review and I'm going to, like, consult what the pros are doing, right? Like, you can accelerate your improvement a lot more by breaking it down and, like, taking a clinical approach to it, as opposed to just playing a million games. I think the only thing that playing that many games is going to do for you is improve your mechanics in most cases. So,
all right.
I'm a long challenger.
I think that's all. That's all of it. That was a good question. Thank you, Skavis. Good.
Yeah.
We appreciate the positivity as well. So thank you. Oh shit!
Next email is
hang
from
on. I'll pull up the. I'll pull
a
up
name
the name.
not mentioned.
I got 2 emails and I missed one of them.
It's fine.
Fuck.
Hey, Lead Cat. Hope you guys are doing fine. In a recent episode, Nick mentioned that he hated Heimerdinger. Is that the reason you didn't give him a Metacaiser, even though he as a champion was strong in 3 lanes, top, middle, and bot? I think that since his mini rework, Heimer has been a meta pick because he doesn't need so much setup anymore. Most of his damage comes from the lasers, and he can get those with an EQW combo, enough to kill most champions in game, not just the squishies. This mechanic makes him a strong mid laner with decent roam and the ability to set up one-man dead bushes. I would love it if you guys were able to get Heisendong in on the podcast, so you guys can too see the glory of the donger. This is from Victor, by the way. In a different matter, I had an idea for a new Fiddlesticks passive. I think that one of the main problems with the Fiddle is that he is not a scary champion like Nocturne. So this new passive idea takes the concept of why a Scarecrow is scary. You don't know if it's going to move and rip your eyes out or not. Name of passive, Scarecrow. Fiddlesticks can place a Scarecrow anywhere on the map that looks just like him when he is not moving. Health bar, summoner name, and all the Scarecrow cannot be targeted. Health bar, summoner name, and all. So everything's there. Status effects, I would imagine, too. Scarecrow cannot be targeted and does not take damage. Fiddle can take damage in his Scarecrow form, but as his Scarecrow cannot be targeted and can only get hit with skill shots, Fiddle can set up to 10 Scarecrows in the map that do not give vision. He can set one every 30 seconds and they last 5 minutes. When Fiddle ults, every Scarecrow does the ultimate channeling animation, but only one Fiddle executes the ultimate. Victor.
So, I immediately want to change some things about this, right? I really like this idea. Also, I like that it's named Scarecrow. And if we have any other funny, like, passive renamings, like Gangplank, Hot Sword. Temporarily Hot Sword. That would fucking kill me. But, okay, so he can take damage. He can be targeted with auto attacks and stuff. I really like the idea of like setting up these things so you kind of have to like, you can clear them with a single auto, kind of like a blue ward, but hey, who knows if that's the real Fiddlesticks or not. Like, I really like that idea.
I like the idea of, sorry, I was gonna say, I like the idea of setting up 10 in a bush and then you also being in there, and then they count and they're like, there's 11.
It's the fucking donkey clip from Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
Right? Where he's just like set up all those decoys around the soldier.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh god, that would kill me, dude. Oh, I really like that idea. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah, that sounds so funny. Yeah, so Heimer.
There's another half of this, by the way, about Heimer. So I feel like the lasers from his turret isn't the problem at the moment. I think so much of his power is just in his ultimate E and his normal W. I don't think his ultimate W is too great, but the fact that you can take damage from his E multiple times in a line attached with CC that's AoE is pretty fucking strong. And then his W just does too much damage. Like, his rockets are way too strong for in lane.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing. It turns him from like this champion who you can't really engage on to this champion who just pokes you from long range. And the counter to poke champ is to engage on them. But when you try to engage on a Heimerdinger, you just lose. So he kind of just like has the strengths of a poke champion without the like traditional drawback to it.
Yeah, it's like if you get hit by his E when you engage, you die 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys have any different... Oh, and yeah, of course we'd love to get like people like Heisendong or Yasuo or TF Blade, but we also have, 20%, probably not even 20%, maybe 2% of the like fan bases, any of those. So it's kind of, it'd be nice. I think the highest rated person we've had on here is Bwas, BWAS, who's a high... Well, I'm not sure what he is now. I think he's still on my friends list, but...
He's G2 right now.
At the time, he was... Oh, at the time he was one of the higher ranked jungle mains, specifically for Nidalee. I remember that champion spotlight.
Yeah.
That was fun. But maybe we'll reach out to people and see if they want to do something in the future.
Yeah, can you get
cool.
a double lift on this show?
Yeah, have you heard Double Lift? This Double Lift guy?
No, I haven't. What does he usually play?
He's really similar to me because he lifts up two
Blitzcrank.
things around him that aren't very good.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, that's the end of the show. Unless you guys had anything more to add.
No.
Good. Our website, leakcastpodcast.com, Twitter @leakcast and @leakcastfrost, Facebook Leakcast Podcast, ts@leakcastpodcast.com, I believe.
Yep.
Is it okay? It's not ts.nodetoad.net. Okay, same TeamSpeak. Discord on the website or you can ask one of us for it. Mail at leakcastpodcast.com where you can send emails. Twitch.tv/bluebasket and KingLardout. Sorry, twitch.tv/bluebasket and twitch.tv/KingLardout is where you can find Colton and I stream. Aiden doesn't stream too much, unfortunately.
This internet's garbage.
Yeah. Maybe are you living at home
Yeah.
for the upcoming? Okay, so you're not going
Nah, I just commute,
back
yeah.
to the okay. And then you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/leaguecast. I think we recently uploaded our Vegas special episode.
It's pretty fun,
which
yeah.
was really, really fun to do. And there's some, Aiden has linked me some good clips of some of the things that we said. It were pretty great.
Yeah.
So I would recommend checking it out. And we should be revamping that pretty soon. So keep posted, I guess.
For only
on that
$2
if
a
you're
month, you
interested.
can listen to our monthly podcast on there, and it's fun.
Yeah. For $2, you can allow one of us to quit our job every 3 months. So that'd be
Every
pretty sweet. That's actually our goal.
I like the idea, Nick. Like put together like your salary, whatever it is. Like just say like 20 grand, right? Because we like work fucking shit jobs, right? Right, and then divided by $2, so 10 grand, right? So once every 10,000 days, we can quit our jobs, Nick, for a year.
We can quit our job for 1 year every 300 years, I think is the
27 years.
That's probably 27. One of us can take 1 year off.
Nice.
Oh boy. Yeah, thanks for listening. That'll do it for episode 341, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.